So good to have you back.
Yay.
How have you been?
I've been great. Super excited to speak to you
Good.
again. I know
Likewise.
it was last minute, so I'm not
Yes.
really prepared. But I thought, we'll be fine.
We'll just rock it. Spontaneous chat.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
really great to see you. Well, I thought it would be great to talk about the skin because I get a lot of question about it from both
Mm.
men and women. And I think that there is a bit of a tendency to think of the skin as just purely aesthetics,
Yeah.
when in fact it really is a reflection of what's going on internally. And so I think it's important to really raise awareness of how key skin health is. And you have such radiant skin and beautiful nails every time I see you. So I thought it would be amazing to have you on today and for you to share a few tips with our
Oh,
audience.
absolutely. Yeah, I thought, seeing as though we're talking about skin, I will bare my skin. There's no makeup on here, so all
Wow.
natural.
Wow, that's incredible. You have literally such a flawless skin. That's really,
Yeah.
really
Well, I thought there's no point covering up. If you do a good job of your skin, there's no point covering it up.
absolutely. So perhaps do you want to share a little bit so that we can start by your top tips, ritual routines? What would you say?
Oof, it's a tough one. I think when it comes to skincare, it's just, inside out, I think is key. And that's my personal perspective. I think it's important to not just focus on the aesthetics, and just the top layers. I think it's really vitally important for people to remember that it does start within, you know, like staying hydrated. And when I say hydrated, I don't mean just by water alone, the importance of what sort of water you have in. Like I put hydrogen rejuvenation tablets in my water. I also have electrolytes that I take, to really nourish the cells. I think, first of all, the cells need to be properly nourished for you to then be able to work on top of that, you know.
Absolutely. It starts
Oh,
internally.
yeah, and also nutrition, I mean, there's no point putting poison inside of you and then expecting miracles on the surface. It makes no sense.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's where I would start as a basis, and then everything else is a bonus on top of that. When you can find, really good products to work with and you have that really good routine, I think that then is like the cherry on top.
Mm.
I don't know when you want me to start talking about. I don't know. There's so much to talk about.
How about you just take us on a daily tour of your skin ritual? What does 𝑍𝑎ℎ do when she wakes up and when
Okay.
you go to bed? Just take us through a little routine, morning and night, or daily.
Okay. Okay. I think people are going to be quite surprised by my answer. Simply because a lot of the time I do nothing except water.
Mm.
That is most of the time for me, to be honest with you. Because I just, I'm not a believer in, basically, I think a lot of people overdo it and can cause more harm to the skin. If you overstimulate your skin too much, you can have, adverse reactions and things. So most of the time, water is all I do. But when I do go, the extra mile with my things, then yes, I will. I do have a facial every now and again. I say a proper intense facial,
Mm.
maybe once a month.
So do you do a peeling too, or just you keep it with a facial? When you say facial, do you use any of that microdermabrasion? Do you use any peeling extract, or
Um,
do you
have
do an
I?
extraction? What's
Yeah,
your...
I have actually got some things which I wanted to show you.
Yes, gadgets, toys,
Yeah,
keep the
gadgets.
biohackers happy.
Okay, so I think everything is important as to what you're going to be using on your face. And as you know already, Charlene, I'm a massive believer in natural and organic, especially. Hi, everyone that's saying hi, by the way. So I don't put nothing toxic, nothing no chemicals on my face. Everything I use is always natural. So what I found for myself that really works, the best cleanser I've come across, and this would be my number one go-to, is 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ Naturals. I don't know if you've heard about them.
No.
They are amazing. This one is a pearl cleanser. So this, I've tried quite a few cleansers. Normally, as I say, natural milk, like cream cleansers, because I have a bit of a dry skin. But this one from 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ is the only one that I can say has an immediate result. Like my nose, I'd say the pores on my nose is the area where I get more congestion on my nose. The rest of my face is quite clear, but on my nose, I'd probably say, yeah, that's the area that's more prone to, you know, blackheads and things like that. So that cleanser is the best one I've actually found. And I do have an affiliate code, obviously.
Of course.
Which,
Perhaps you can share it with the audience later on. That'd be great.
Yes, it's 𝑍20, my code for them. And I will put it in the notes as well, you know, when we share our live together so people can go to it. So I do start with that. I start with the cleanser. Then I would use my exfoliating brush. I think I might have forgotten it upstairs. I do have a wooden, it is wood with bristles on it, and I will gently exfoliate my skin in round circular motions with my brush. I do that, especially on the nose area again. And then after that, I usually would have a mask. I do put a mask on as well. And again, the best one I found is the 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ clay mask. It is incredible. It has loads of different types of clay. And there's something about, I don't know if you've experienced this, you know, putting mud on your face.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan. And French clay is a thing as well, you know, so
yeah,
I'm a fan.
I love that. I do have another mask which I used to use before I discovered this one, and it is just mud. There's something about mud, rolling in mud all over. So that's another thing which I use. Then after that, I'd probably say I use, in fact, no, before that, every now and again, I use a derma roller.
Nice. Yes, I really like that. Do you use one of those that has jade stone or crystals, or do you use another type of roller?
The one that I've got is this one.
Ah, okay.
So this one has the, you know, micro needles. I've started with 0.25 on there. You can go up to like 0.5 and 1 mil. So I definitely would recommend a derma roller, especially for people who have scar tissue. You know, if you've had a bad acne maybe in the past and you've got quite a lot of scar tissue, I think derma rolling is amazing. I don't know if, do you want me to go into detail?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a big fan of derma rolling as well, so go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, with the derma rolling, this will basically, with the micro needles, what it does is it does micro punctures in your skin. Basically, it's like doing a minor like injury on your face. It is micro, obviously not going to bleed out and go crazy, but your body will think that you have had a little small injury. So that puts your, you know, body into gear where it thinks, right, okay, we need to make sure that we are going to heal this and regenerate new cells on the skin, you know, and it's great for collagen building. And then what happens, the process that happens is it breaks down the calcification, which is, you know, the cause of the scar tissue. I don't know if you've experienced it recently. I had a piercing on my ear, and you know when you have that hard sort of lump sort of thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that happens.
So that's the process of calcification. You know, and you can get that everywhere in your body. You know, it's the scar tissue basically. So the derma rolling helps break that down. That's one thing stages it does. It also has I always get this word a bit confused, angiogenesis. I think that's the word. Yeah, angiogenesis, where it creates new blood cells, like blood capillaries, so it increases your blood flow as well. So definitely that's a big one. I think it's amazing. And again, since I've been doing it, I've noticed a really big change in my skin. I have a habit of frowning. I'm not gonna lie. I do frown. Like, you know, when people, like me and I compare myself and my sister. So my older sister, she's always has the surprise look where she's like, oh my God. So this is what my sister does. My sister does like, oh my God. And she has these wrinkles all on her forehead, bless her. She's going to kill me if she watches this live. But I'm the opposite. I'm the type of person that goes, what the that's my reaction. So I tend to have, you know, these two lines here. They used to be quite prominent, but I've noticed, you know, as long as I do my derma rolling, and if I'm hydrated, then they aren't that visual. I know if I've not been doing my hydration, if I have, you know, lacked on my water and nutrients, then I'll notice it first on my skin. You know, my skin starts becoming more dry, the lines on the skin start becoming a little bit more noticeable. So I know, you know, right, okay, I need to get myself hydrated again. You know, and I think as well, you can tell that on your hair. You know, I think your scalp,
absolutely,
you know, when you start getting maybe some dry, flaky skin, that's a big sign as well, you know, being dehydrated.
I love this tip on the derma roller. Perhaps you can later on share the link to the derma roller with our audience, because I think it's a really good tip. There is a lot of talk about, you know, this vampire facial where you actually do bleed out. So I think that's a DIY at-home version, a mild version of the vampire facial. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, and it's so easy. It really is really easy. It's really quick. It works. I've tried and tested it. You know, I don't recommend anything to anyone if I've not tried it myself.
Of course.
Yeah. So because I've tried it, I know it works. And I think sometimes when you have really invasive things, like to the extreme, it can have worse effects on your skin.
Yes.
You know, if your skin goes into complete like inflammation, freak out, you know, you can end up a lot worse. So I think definitely, you know, take it in small steps is the best way forward on that one.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a really, really, really good tip to share. And it's a simple routine to integrate. And it's that moment of self-care and self-love as well, where you know you're doing something good. And I find it fascinating with derma roller on the face, because people now start to become aware of rolling for the fascia, for their leg workout, or for their bums, or for their legs, but they don't necessarily go the extra mile and do it on their face. I'm thinking, if you're getting into that foam rolling habit with your full body, why don't you just take it up to your face as well, you know? So I love that you mentioned that, because I'm a firm believer in it as well. And it does stimulate the blood flow, and it's giving yourself the little massage, really. So it's excellent, and it feels good too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, you know, when you first get used to it, I mean, it is micro needles, so it might feel a little bit prickly. I'm not going to lie, it feels a little bit prickly, but it's not something that's super uncomfortable, you know. But I think when you do the whole entire process, then yeah, it would be a relaxing. I think if you was just, you know, going ahead with the derma roller, it might be uncomfortable, but the whole process in general is pleasant, obviously. And what I find as well, after the derma rolling, you know, once you've done the micro needling on your skin, then you have a better absorption with what comes next.
Yes, definitely.
So that's when I'll put on, you know, my serum and then moisturizer and things.
Have you ever tried using copper peptide on your face? Because that's my new favorite biohack.
I actually
They're really nice. So it comes in a very bright blue serum and cream, and they're an amazing hack. So what I would suggest after the dermal roller is to apply the serum. Actually, I have it with me right now, so I can show you. It really is super blue.
All right.
Yeah, so that's the copper peptide, and it's made by 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ Customs. So the CEO is Jay Campbell. He's the guru of fitness and hormone optimization. He's a really, really, really great guy, and super into biohacking skin, and from a point of view of really deep health, not just, you know, looking at the surface, but trying. And it feels so good, and it's a very neutral blue serum. So I love putting that on, and then after I put the cream, also with the peptides. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of peptides. I think they're super. It replenishes the skin. It increases elasticity, collagen production as well. So that's a little tip I can throw in and add. I'll drop the link as well to the serum and the cream.
That'd be incredible. Yeah, I've not tried that one, so it would be interesting to try it.
Yeah.
On this, the blue as well. I'd like to.
I like it.
Do you get a blue face?
Actually, it gets absorbed within a second. Like you can see, I put it in my hand. It's already gone. But for when you get it out of the tube, it does look really, really pretty. So I really like the way it feels. On the topic of collagen, I know we've focused mainly on the first part of this live talking about topical solution, but I think it's really important to actually, you covered water and hydration, but I think it's also important to really cover nutrition at a deep-rooted nutrition. So I thought I'll share a couple of tips on that. What I find fascinating is this idea of a paleo cure when it comes to skin, and it's actually quite logical that if we went back to a diet, or rather a lifestyle that mimics our ancestors and the way they lived, which was very much with nature, whole food, non-processed, no grains, no legumes, then you can see your skin really changes. For me, it's been such a transformation. I integrate into my diet very no-sutal approach, so I make sure that yes, I have my meat and I have my fish, but I also make broth out of the bones. So I get all that really bioavailable form of collagen. I love my latest one. I've been doing it with bone marrow. So it has that. Great. It's so good. It has this buttery, nutty taste, and it just feels so indulgent. And also I've been putting collagen into my coffee in the morning. If I know that I haven't had time to make a broth that day, or I might fall a little bit short on my collagen, I just add it. It's just a powder that I add into my coffee. So I put 1 or 2 scoops into the coffee in the morning. Or if I want to get a super hacked bone broth, then I put a scoop of collagen into the bone broth, and then
I've done it.
I've done it as well. It makes it quite, you know, you can really feel you're thinking, oh, I'm giving myself the natural uplifting. So I think it's really important. And there is a tendency to underestimate the role of nutrition when it comes to skin health. And it's so fundamentally important to quit all this processed food, not just because of weight gain, which is another issue, or because of hormones getting completely out of whack, but because we're just not meant or designed or equipped to eat that kind of trash, which it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was having a conversation with my younger sister yesterday, and I was pointing out there's a couple of people. I obviously won't mention names, but I was saying to my little sister, I was like, you know, there's these two people. I was like, I've noticed they don't eat food, and she's like, what do you mean they don't eat food? I was like, they really don't eat food. They just eat like Franken food, like plastic junk.
Exactly.
I don't even consider it like food. And she was so baffled by me saying I don't think they eat food. She's like, how are they living if they don't eat food? I was like, exactly. It's like
but that, and you know, I love that you say that, because it's exactly how are you living. And people, I'm sure you found it as well, but I get so many people that think being in a state of disease has become normal. So being inflamed, being bloated, having acne, having eczema, all those is your body crying out loud for attention. And it's not okay to normalize it. Of course you can have it. I'm not saying, you go into self-blame or self-judgment. No, of course, like, everyone that has skin condition has my infinite sympathy, because I have been there. However, it is important to realize that it is not okay and not normal, and that you can reverse it, most importantly, that you're perfectly empowered to choose not to live with it. And my frustration is I find there has been a bit of normalization of the disease in the society we live in. It's very much sick care driven. And it's, pop a pill, you've got acne, just put more medication. Well, hold on, let's go through a checklist. How is your hormone? Are you under any form of hormone therapy? How is your diet? How is your sleep? How is the quality of your pillowcases? How is the water that you drink? Are you eating inflammatory food? How are your circadian rhythm? Okay, so these are the questions we need to ask, not, hey, here you go, take this medication, put it on your really highly inflamed skin from your really inflamed body, and add more crap onto the crap.
That's insane. And I think one of the worst ones that I found, or I've heard, is when, like, especially women, if a lady, a young girl, has acne, they put her on the contraceptive pill. God. And I'm like, my mind is screaming. Like,
I've been that woman, 𝑍𝑎ℎ. I was put on the pill by my gynecologist, age 13 or 14, something silly like that. Not even an adult, not even a grown woman, because I had irregular period and some acne. So there you go, take the pill, which is gonna get my hormones out of whack for the rest of my adulthood. And then it takes years of hacking and trying, and it really is an issue. And I think so that's talking about women. And I think acne is so common, adult acne, and I've had to face it myself, and it was, I have to say, very embarrassing and a very lonely place to be, because when your skin doesn't look good, you don't want to come out, you don't want to be seen, you don't want to, and there is so much to be said about big pharma just throwing stuff at us that are going to completely make us more inflamed, and long term gonna make us really suffer, when there's things that we can do that are readily available in nature, as it was meant to be, as it was intended to be, because of this co-synergy and coexistence between the human kingdom and the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. And we're all meant to live in synergy and really get the benefit out of living in an ecosystem that has everything. So,
I think,
mm-hmm.
sorry, hon.
No, go ahead.
I think that something that people don't seem to associate with, when you just mentioned, you know, with Big Pharma, is all medication starts with plants, you know, even including Big Pharmas. And I think people need to, you know, realize that, hang on a minute, rather than me going for the Big Pharma and that sort of medication where it starts, the first level is plant medicine, but then they add all of this unnecessary chemicals and toxins on top of that, making it, you know, terrible for your body to consume. If you just take that back, concentrate on natural plant medicine as well, you know, I think that's a, you know, always try the natural solution.
Always.
Always.
I love that you said that. And actually, I'm going to share a little hack that I use, and, you know, no brand, no affiliation, like just the most natural, basic form of hack. Once a week, I get Hanukkah honey and I do a very thick layer mask. That's my weekly mask. And that's it. Any brand, any honey, just pure, high quality. Or even if you can't get access to Hanukkah honey, I say local honey, so that you actually get in tune with the local bees and you get the benefit of your local ecosystem. And you just put it in thick layers. This is as close as it gets to magic. I just come out of it and my skin is, you know, really plump and sort of bright, and I love it. And I think it's, like you said as well, using mud on my body, not on my face, because I think it's a bit too delicate. I sometimes take back the coffee that I use in the morning, the grains of the coffee, after it's, how do you call that? After it's gone through the coffee. I'm missing a word here. Sorry, I'm having a...
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
By some words.
Sorry. So I think you all know what I mean, right? I get that into my hand and I use that as a natural scrub. You know, literally no money spent. It's something that I've consumed already because I would have disposed of it. And I use it and it smells gorgeous in the shower. I get like that extra coffee, you know. Beautiful, super natural, no cost involved, and that's a really, you know, nice and funny little hack that is accessible to everybody, and it does make your skin so soft. And the other thing that I think of in my kitchen as a massive beauty tool, that it's not pink and it doesn't sparkle, and I know that everyone has a tendency, women look for like the pink sparkling box and men look for that deep, I don't know, green masculine sort of box. But one of my top hack when it comes to skin health for both men and women would be to eat liver and eat organ meat, because it's so filled with natural vitamin A, which is amazing for your skin condition and skin health. And when you eat liver, so I like lamb liver or calf liver. If you're not ready for it, then I suggest using supplements. So I use Ancestral Supplements. They have grass-fed beef liver capsule. And I've used it with one of my clients. And within a few months, she saw her skin completely clear out by just using the liver capsule. I use them when I can't cook liver, but I like to work with my local butchers and support my local economy and you know, buy liver there. But I think it's a really great thing to integrate in a daily routine. Eat liver, guys. It may not be pink or blue or green, but it works.
It does. I have it as well.
Yes, you do?
Yeah, so the collagen and the capsules, the organ meat capsules that I've got are from the same company. I use Hunter and Gather. Yeah, it's nice. Hunter and Gather in the UK. I use theirs because I was trying to find local, but I wasn't coming across too local. So I have started ordering from further south of England, you know, from some farmers. So I order from them. They do deliver to my house.
That's nice.
Yeah, I actually had some liver this week. I had steak and kidneys, you know, and I've also ordered liver. I've also integrated some more game into my diet as well, like You know, birds and stuff.
Pheasants and
Pheasant, yeah, pheasant, elk, some
yes,
pheasant. So
and
yeah,
deers.
yeah, I've integrated all of that. I know people might be like, oh my God, but yeah, you know,
Well, look, I think when it comes to oh my God, when we talk about eating animal, we've got to stop believing in this, you know, Disneyland world
yeah,
and think for a minute that if we were in the savannah and a lion saw us, it wouldn't go, oh my God, such a cute human. It would eat us up. So it's just a
yeah.
completely one-sided, ridiculous way of thinking about nature.
I
We
think,
are
yeah,
living and co-living and coexisting, and yes, we are the predators sometimes, and sometimes they're the predators, and
mm,
there is prey, there is a predator, and this is all about the synergy and the beauty about also living in a connectedness and being all one as we are.
yeah,
You know, vegan that tell me they don't want to eat meat, well, then it begs the question, what do you think the soil is made out of?
mm,
Because a rich soil is made out of dead insects, dead animals, ruminants,
mm,
poop,
yeah,
and everything else. And that's what makes the soil really rich. So
mm,
even if you're doing plant food, you're effectively being supported by an ecosystem that involves dead animals.
yeah,
So I think we need to toughen up a little bit and see that in a primal, visceral way,
mm,
there is no such thing as, oh my God, it's so cute.
yeah,
It just needs to be eaten because that's a matter of survival. And those claims about veganism, I think, are quite elitist in a way, because we think that we can sit up that high ivory tower and make decision. But if vegan were in the wild, in a forest, they would hunt and they will kill animals because otherwise they would die.
yeah. There isn't
So,
in nature. I don't think you could find enough plants. If we went back to, you know, really hunter and gather days, how nature really is, because let's face it, we've created a civilization which isn't natural. And I think, you know, I do have a theory where I think that's why previous civilizations aren't here, you know. And when I say previous civilizations, I mean, you know, Roman empires, the Egyptians, you know, the Greeks, you know, all civilizations have eventually fallen. And I think a lot of that is to do with the way that we are farming, you know, and population farming, things like that. So yeah, you know, if we go back to hunter and gather, you won't be able to survive purely just on the plants. It really is. We are hunters, you know, that really is our nature. And I know there's the argument of, you know, how our teeth are. So people do believe that, you know, we're not meant to eat meat, but what they're forgetting is we've evolved to use utensils.
exactly.
So we didn't need our teeth to be like lions because we're not going straight in there. You know, we have evolved to, you know, use tools on utensils to be able to then, you know, digest and eat that way.
Absolutely. And we've used fire, and that's what really
Exactly.
made us the
Yeah.
human that we are today. Our brain size expanded, our guts shrank because we could cook food and eat animal flesh. And really, when it comes to skin, because that's the topic of conversation, I think it's so fundamentally important to sit with our ancestors in our head and to think about all those inflammatory conditions or autoimmune conditions that make our skin flare up, and to
Yeah.
think about how far away and how disconnected we are with Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing when it comes to skin and vitamin D and being in the sun. We now live in a world where everything is indoor under fluorescent blue light.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get clients that come to me with very, very serious skin condition. And then I go through their daily life. They're on the computer all day long. They don't go outside at all. The skin is completely under AC conditions. So no cold, no hot, always the same temperature all day long. summer, winter, spring, autumn. This is not how we live. This is not how we evolved. We got cold, we got hot, we sweat, we run, we move, we go into the sun, then we feel the darkness, then we align our circadian rhythm. Sometimes it's about being just logically with nature and not against it. And I think that there is this disconnect that's fundamental to ill health, is losing how connected we are to the animal kingdom, to the plant kingdom, to everything. And tapping into that a little bit more and getting that primal warrior within you, and just living in coherence with all of that natural environment.
Yeah, I think the only time when we develop problems is when we go away from nature. That's when you start developing problems. As soon as you step away from nature, you develop problems.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, and I know you share the same view, and I really love that. But I think, to me, biohacking is that bridge that gets you closer, because let's face it, we do live in a modern world. We're not cavemen anymore. We genetically still are, but in our everyday life, no longer. So the way I use biohacking, like for example, right now I have my big red light panel waiting for me, and I'm going to do my 20 minutes after we finish speaking. And one could say, oh, hold on, why are you using tech? Why are you not going into the sun? Well, because right now I live in the UK, the sun sets at 4:30. And
that's even earlier now.
Even earlier.
10 to 4, what are you talking about?
Exactly. So as much as I am going into a forest walk, I'm not sure I'm getting quite enough vitamin D and quite enough sun exposure. So yes, of course, I have no shame in saying I'll use tech, and I'll use biotech, and I'll use biohack. Exactly. There we go.
There's my red light.
So that's it. So my conception, and I know yours is that as well, is yes, let's use hacks and tools and gadget and tech only to the extent that it serves us in the greater purpose of connecting deeper with nature.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And red light, what do you think about it for skin? Because I think it's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, holding on.
So what I actually do, I forgot to even mention this before. While I've been giving myself a facial, I've been having the red light on my face as well.
Oh, nice.
And even when I have my mask on, I have the red light shining. It just feels like it intensifies it. It's brilliant. Really, really good.
Do you want to show us your red light in case anyone... I'll try and get my panel, but it's a bit big. So.
Yeah, so I've got this one, which is a handheld one.
Nice.
You can clip it on. You can buy a clip from Amazon, so you can clip it on, like just get like a normal lamp stand sort of thing, and you can clip it on there. So I use
perfect.
I've not plugged it in now, so otherwise it would be super bright if I did.
Yes, same here. I might actually, I might just turn it on just to show our audience, but it does get quite intense.
It does.
Has it turned red already?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. So yes, that's
yeah, there it is.
So I got the panel from Red Light Rising, so they're UK company, and
mine's from Red Light Rising as well. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so there we go, and also it's really good for not only skin but also eye health.
Absolutely.
I really like to, sort of look at it and kind of stay in the light. And I don't know about you, but I find that 20 minutes and staying about 30 centimeters away. So right now I'm technically too far, but if I go too close, then I'll lose the camera. So I'm just trying to show the audience.
Absolutely. So the one that I've got, so this one is the target light. So you can go a little bit closer with this one. Because you're targeting a certain area. So I'll have this quite close to my face when I'm doing my facial. Or, if you had an injury, like if you've got a sore shoulder, I actually use it also when I'm on my period.
Really? Oh, tell us more about that. That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
So on the first day of my period, I normally have, you know, just a little bit of swelling from, you know, the uterus. So I actually flash this on my lower abdomen, and it definitely feels soothes, you know, the ache. Because, you know, as with red light, it's great for, you know, the recovery and muscle soreness and, you know, things like that if you've got cramps. So because, you know, when you are, well, having on your period, your uterus is contracting, you know, to release all the, well, break down the walls from inside your uterus. So it really is like the muscle cramps. So if you flash that on your lower abdomen, it really does help. It really helps. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good hack. Thanks so much for sharing. I like that. I find that red light as well, it helps with skin on the face, but also overall skin.
Yeah.
So if you find for men and women that the elasticity around perhaps the glutes or the bum is not what it once was,
Yeah.
then doing that 20 minutes of red light every day will really boost your mitochondria, which ultimately will boost the collagen production and will just make your skin look a bit more useful.
Yeah.
And we're not just thinking about aesthetics here once again. I know we talk a lot about youth and wrinkles, but you know, as we mentioned before, whatever shows is whatever is.
Yeah.
So it's not so much just from a place of vanity, it's very much from a place of longevity, vitality, and hacking your health from within.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the red light as well, for sure.
And do you as well? Because sometimes I know you said it about your serum. Do you find that I love the combo? So for example, I'm going to put my collagen peptide. I'll put the serum, I'll put the cream of the peptide, and then I'll go 20 minutes into the red light with my cream and serum. Yeah, do you do that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I do both. So to be honest, I tend to use it throughout the whole process. You know, while I've got the mask on, then, you know, a little bit after as well. Maybe not on the same day, you know, I can do it. I mean, I use it all the time. I think it's great. I use mine more in the mornings because I feel like it really boosts my energy. So I tend to use mine more in the mornings or when I'm having a facial. That seems to be my routine with the red light. I love having it, you know, first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. Yeah. Interesting. I love that you said that because I don't know if I'm doing it instinctively, but I tend to do it around that sunset time, that in between day and night, you know, it's like my at-home sunset because I grew up in the south of France and I was spoiled with the daily sunset by the beach, and you know, in the UK it's not quite that, at least not in London, but where I am. So I recreate my mini sunset situation here.
I don't know, I feel like it wakes me up more, you know, if I've got the red light, I feel more awake than
nice.
I mean, I have a red bulb at night, you know, on my ceiling. I don't have blue light in my house, you know, light bulbs. I have flicker-free yellow and red bulbs in my house, so I don't have any blue light. But yeah, I don't know. I just, for me personally, I just wake up when I have the red light.
Wow.
I know for other people it does the opposite effect. You know, you feel more tired, and I know one person that's got the full body red light, and they can fall asleep like that, you know, underneath it. But,
really? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I just wake up. I don't know.
Do you also find that it helps with your hair? Because I know we've spoken a lot about skin, but you know, hair and nails obviously related, and I find that like by applying the red light a little bit, because I've done some serious damage with my hair. Half a year in Bali under the sun and the sea salt, I have to say I destroyed my hair, and so I'm trying my hardest to hack it, and I find that the red light, just applying it especially on the scalp and around the roots, is really helpful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, my hair grows so quick. And mine's, you know, I don't color it. I don't put anything on it, to be honest with you. I only use natural products on my hair. Like even my hair wax is completely natural.
Nice.
So I never, and don't dye it. The shampoos I use, they're completely organic. I've actually, this is another one that I actually use, apple cider vinegar.
Nice, yes.
I do use it on my skin and also on my hair. I've got an apple cider vinegar shampoo bar, which is quite nice. And also I use it, you know, when I'm derma rolling, I will put apple cider vinegar on before and after as well when I use my derma roller.
Super nice. Okay, I like that. I haven't. I'll try that. One of my little tip like that. Actually, I heard about it when I traveled to Morocco, and I started to use rose water. So completely natural, organic, nothing processed, just rose petals infused in spring water.
Yeah.
And I use it a little bit on my skin. If I feel like I need some extra TLC, I'll just tap a little bit of rose water.
Yeah.
And I find it super nice. And again, you know, one of the cheapest things that you can use on your skin.
Yeah, I use rose water like a toner, basically.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, like a natural toner. So I'll do my cleanser. If I'm having just a quick, you know, revamp of my face, I'll do the cleanser, then the rose water, and then moisturize, and that's it. So that's my quickie.
Love it.
Yeah, that's my quickie version. But,
so nice. Well, I think we've covered so many grounds today. It's been such an honor to talk to you as always and to see your radiant beauty without any makeup and just looking so fabulous as you are. I'm really glad that you could join us and share all those tips. Maybe you could send me some link as well for the products that you've mentioned so we can both share some little tips for our audience and our go-to products for skincare.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, there's so much to talk about. It feels like we've not, I know, again, it always feels like we're just touching the surface.
I know. Perhaps we could have another one and we could talk about sleep next time and the importance of circadian rhythm. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well, let's do that then. Such a pleasure, 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ. I feel like I could talk to you all day.
I know, same here. I mean, it's like we can talk about skin, hair, nails. I mean, we're not talking about nails.
Oh yeah, your nails are so gorgeous.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I just feel like there's not much that I need to do with mine, but I know a lot of people do have, you know, problems growing their nails and they're quite dry and brittle. So that's, you know, it's a good topic to talk about as well, because it's just all hand in hand. It all goes together.
Absolutely. And it's often as well like of collagen and vitamins and minerals.
Yeah, I've recommended the collagen to my best friend, and she said that she has noticed a difference in her hair, nails and skin.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it really does make a big difference. Sure.
It does. 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ, thank you so much. I cannot wait to have you back. And it's been such a pleasure, and I hope to talk to you super soon. And everybody that's been listening, if you guys have any questions, please ask 𝑍𝑎ℎ or ask me, ask us both. We'll be delighted to help you out on your skin journey.
Obviously. Oh, always happy to help.
Bye, 𝑍𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑟𝑎ℎ. Thank you so much.
I'll see you soon. Bye.